Tell us, Dad, what happened that morning when you were on Ford Island.
Again?
Tell him.
I was stationed on Ford Island Naval Air Station. When the raid started, I rushed down from an upper level office out to the front. Here comes these airplanes, diving, dropping bombs, machine gunning. I was ordered into a ditch out behind the hangar. I ran there with the rest of them, got up out of that ditch, started running for the ammo shack, was threatened with being put on report for doing so. We still ran down, got 50 caliber machine guns. I and another guy got into the port blister of a PBY flying boat parked on the ramp and began to fire at those planes as they come by. I used to shoot jackrabbits on the run, Chinese ringneck pheasants on the fly with a rifle, so I had some idea of how to use a gun even on an airplane. Now that's the ultimate target. I'm sure that I did some damage to those, and we continued to fire as long as there was any that came within our field of fire. Later, 60 years later, I had the opportunity to watch TV while they were interviewing some of the pilots that had been there. And this one guy said, well, I was the lead pilot of a group of 9 aircraft. Our targets were the hangars and the airplanes on Ford Island, and that's where I was. He said, when I went in for my first run, there was nobody. I think the whole island was asleep. But by the time I came around, positioning myself for a second run, there was so much fire coming up that I turned and went elsewhere. Now that's the guy that dropped the very first bomb to fall on Pearl Harbor that morning. That's the bomb that got to me, that spilled my blood. I think maybe the first blood spilt at Pearl Harbor that morning. But I think in spite of that, I'm the guy that got to him with that machine gun and changed his mind about strafing us the second time. No more aircraft came back to bomb or to strafe us that morning. We got to fire at others as they passed through, but soon by the clouds of smoke and burning fire, our field of fire was greatly limited. So we just went on and did what we had to do that day. Later we ended up building sandbag machine gun nests out on the ramp, and if someone has a copy of that picture, of that book, Pearl Harbor, December 7th, America's Darkest Day. Look on page, I think it's 24 or 26. I'm the guy on the left-hand side in that machine gun nest, waiting and watching. We were expecting more planes to come back. I would hope that everyone here that is within the sound of my voice would, when they go to Pearl Harbor, go to the Arizona Memorial. While you're standing there on the deck of that memorial, look over the side. You'll see the hull of that vessel resting there on the bottom of the harbor. Then turn your attention to all those names listed there on the honor wall, and they will serve to remind us that there are 1,177 crew members still down there, still aboard that vessel over which we would then be standing. Then, if we will listen very, very carefully, not only with our ears, but with a grateful heart and a respectful mind, all 2,405 of those victims will communicate with us, and they will do so in unison, as if with one voice, and their message, their plea will be the same. Remember us. Remember us. We gave our lives in service to you.
I got to get rolling again, excuse me. And then we'll let you guys have some fun.
Just point where you were.
Yeah, the hangar I was in, let me see, right there, BP-23's hangar, near the point of the island. This was hangar 1, the one that took the number of bomb hits and burned. That's the one, and that and these airplanes out here were the ones that were putting up so much smoke that it prevented us from firing at those airplanes that were congregating onto the Nevada as it rushed down the channel here.